On today's solo cooking adventure, I make Claire Saffitz almond butter banana bread. And if you've seen me post on Instagram about this banana bread, this is the recipe, so I'm going to show you how to make it. And by the way, I adore her. She's the queen. So you're gonna want to get a braid pan and grease it with coconut oil, and not just shove the parchment paper like I did in. You actually should cut it to size. So here we're going to make the almond butter swirl that's going to go on top of the banana bread. In a bowl, you're going to stir together 3 tablespoons of almond butter, 1 tablespoon of sugar, although I am using monk fruit sweetener in this recipe, and 1 teaspoon of coconut oil, but you can add as you want if you don't like the consistency. So somebody in my last video commented about how I should do a cooking stream. I do plan on doing a cooking stream. I want to make Afton soup. Hopefully I said that right. I'm probably going to get screamed at later by my Dutch friends for saying it wrong, but I do plan on doing something. You might be thinking to yourself, Jordy Porty, are you stirring those ingredients together with a butter knife? And the answer is yes, I am. It's really important that you use a butter knife. It adds that umami flavor to the dish. So you want your almond butter swirl mixture to have a consistency like this when you are done. And you can see me adding a little bit of coconut oil to make it more like this. You're going to use 1 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour, although you can see, like, what the fuck is up with her flour? Why is it gray? It's buckwheat flour. The recipe suggests either using all-purpose flour, or oat flour, or spelt, or buckwheat. She says buckwheat tastes the best for this recipe, and I entirely agree. Although if you use some sort of alternative flour, just be in mind the bread might be a little bit more dense, but that's fine if you like a dense banana bread. But if you want something more light and fluffy, use like all-purpose. So in this step, we're just adding all the dry shit into the bowl. Our salt. Earlier I added a teaspoon of baking powder. Somebody commented on my last video about how I should show my face more and maybe do more live commentary. I kind of like how I do this. I won't always not every video will probably be like this, but this is how I like it, and this is probably how it will mostly stay like in the future. I'll probably change it up a little bit, but it's gonna stay the same. You're gonna put in 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. The last step for the dry shit, you're gonna put in 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom. Although I kind of do like a mix, I also put cinnamon in there, which is why you see like there's cinnamon in there. But yeah, that cardamom and especially the cinnamon mixed together, dear God, makes it taste so good. So you are going to curb stomp 3 motherfucking eggs in a bowl, and you're gonna whisk till the egg yolks are broken up. You're gonna add 2/3 of a cup of sugar, although in this video I am using monk fruit sweetener. So you're gonna whisk that shit in until it is mixed together thoroughly. Although I am using monk fruit sweetener, and that does not act 100% like sugar. A little bit, but not 100%. And so the results that I have in the video might be different from yours if you are actually using sugar. So you're gonna take your old, musty, crusty bananas and you're going to mash them up. Just put in all your pent up aggression and anger and just destroy, obliterate those bananas. I mean, absolutely just tear them a new asshole. Claire says to mash them up until they're perfectly smooth, but I like a little lumpage in my banana bread, because I like to go, ooh, there's a little lump of banana in my banana bread. In the egg mixture, you're gonna add 1/3 of a cup of Greek yogurt or sour cream or creme fraiche or plain full-fat yogurt. It is just up to you and what you have. Add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract into the egg mixture. Add those horrifically abused bananas into your egg mixture. Add your 1/3 of a cup of almond butter into your wet shit. And the last thing that you need to add is 1.5 cup of coconut oil. You see here, I'm making a well into the dry shit. You don't have to, but if you want to, you can. Now you're gonna put that wet shit into the dry shit. Now, if you haven't been whisking every time I've been screaming at you in text to whisk, you need to whisk. God damn it. That is, of course, entirely up to you. If you decide to stop here and just not whisk and just keep this mixture on a shelf in your kitchen and you put a bow and googly eyes on it and call it Steve, that is up to you. I will not judge. And of course, we've got to do a little sniff test. Sniff, sniff. It smells pretty good. It does, actually. The batter smells fucking amazing. So we're gonna fucking end it. We're gonna need to give that batter a little slap to show who's daddy, or I guess mommy in my case. So you know that almond butter swirl mixture thingy that we made in the beginning? Well, we're finally gonna get to use it. You're gonna want to put little dollops, kind of unevenly, across the whole top of your bread. You are either going to take a toothpick or a very thin paring knife, and you're going to make little figure eights or whatever like swirl pattern you want to make the swirl. And it doesn't have to be perfect. If you make it perfect, it won't turn out as good. Now put that bread shit in the oven for 60 to 70 minutes or until it is golden brown, and if you put a toothpick in it, it comes out clean. Now she is done, and isn't she just beautiful? I really love this banana bread recipe. It's not too sweet. It's very savory, and that savoriness comes from the almond butter, and a lot of the sweetness from the bread comes from just the bananas. And it's really good. I really recommend you try this recipe. I hope you like it. If you make it, send it to me somewhere, and I'll cry tears of happiness. And also, another thing I like to think when I try this recipe is this probably would taste a lot more amazing if I actually put sugar in it instead of the weird healthy crap I put in it.